The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro, bringing you the biggest headlines from around the world. The race to replace ousted U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is starting to take shape. Representative Jim Jordan, a leading antagonist of U.S. President Joe Biden, became the first Republican to launch a run for the speakership. He will likely contend with Stephen Scalise, the chamber's number 2 Republican, along with several other candidates, in what could be a lengthy battle to fill the post. Republicans have set a vote on October 11 to choose a successor for McCarthy, the first ever U.S. House Speaker to have been removed from office. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said whoever will be the next speaker should work on doing away with the motion to vacate.
I have no advice to give to House Republicans except one. I hope whoever the next speaker is gets rid of the motion to vacate. I think it makes the speaker's job impossible, and the American people expect us to have a functioning government. On the Senate side, we need to get as many appropriation bills passed as possible.
U.S. President Joe Biden said he is worried this disarray on Capitol Hill would hurt Ukraine aid. Biden said he would soon make a major speech outlining why the U.S. needs to continue supporting Ukraine in its war with Russia. The U.S. president pins his hope on his claim that majority of Congress still supports funding for Ukraine. He also hinted on another avenue that the U.S. could use to fund Ukraine aside from the tranches that require congressional approval, but he has so far declined to give further details. Former U.S. President Donald Trump appeals a ruling that he and his family business fraudulently inflated the value of several properties and his net worth. The appeal comes as a civil trial case brought by New York's Attorney General got underway to determine the remaining claims and penalties. The New York judge on September 26 found conclusive evidence that Trump inflated his fortune by as much as $2.2 billion. These include properties like his Mar-a-Lago estate, penthouse apartment in Manhattan's Trump Tower, as well as office buildings and golf courses. The judge also ordered the cancellation of certificates that let some of Trump's businesses operate in New York. Following the decision, Trump called the accusations ridiculous and untrue, and even labeled the judge deranged. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now World. I'm Diego Castro. Heavy rainfall and flooding killed at least 10 people in the Indian state of Sikkim. Over 80 individuals were also missing, including 23 Army personnel on a rescue operation. About 15,000 people are likely to be affected, and at least 8 major bridges have been washed away. Heavy rainfall caused the glacial Lonak Lake to overflow, spurring catastrophic flooding in the region. Officials warned of landslides and disruption to flights as heavy rains would continue over the next 2 days. Over in Taiwan, Typhoon Koinu starts to bring heavy rains and winds. Koinu is expected to make landfall on Taiwan's southeastern coast near the city of Taitung today. Fishermen could be seen securing their boats at the local dock as workers race against time to build sandbags. Over 100 flights have been canceled, while businesses and schools in some areas will be suspended from the evening. Koinu will hit Taiwan as a Category 3 typhoon, but it will eventually weaken as it enters the Taiwan Strait. 3 scientists bagged the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their discovery of tiny clusters of atoms known as quantum dots. Scientists Mongi Bawendi, Luis Bras, and Alexei Ekimov discovered the dots, which are widely used today to create colors in flat screens. They are also used in LED lamps and devices that help surgeons see blood vessels in tumors. Bawendi shares his astonishment at the scale of which their discovery had been used.
I guess it's surprising to me that, the scale at which manufacturing of quantum dots has evolved, and that it's, at a scale where all these displays have dots in them. I would never have thought that you could make these things at such a large commercial scale and have them inexpensive enough that you could incorporate them and that they would actually make a difference in the consumer area.
And those are the top world headlines of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We throw you over now to the press conference of the Philippine Statistics Authority on the 6.1% inflation in September.